Welcome back to my marathon videos. I think this third one will be the last one. And I want to talk to you a little bit about quotations, just as a reminder. Most of you have this down pretty well, but I do have this handout on how to use your quotations. And let's see if it's down here. Oh, right there. Okay. So what we're talking about is making sure that you do not have hit and run quotations. This is a hit and run quotation because you have a quote here, starting here, ending here, but you don't tell me who said it and why they said it and why it's important or significant. So this goes back to from summary to analysis. So what you want to do is they have this thing called the quotation sandwich, where the top piece of bread is where you introduce your source. The quotation itself is the meat of the sandwich. It's the peanut butter and jelly of the sandwich. And the bottom slice is what you think it means and why it's important. So here you have words and then a quotation and then nothing. A better example would be this, because you're introducing who Susan Bordeaux is, a little bit about her argument. And then you have the lead into the quote, the quotation, and this probably should be with this paragraph here, but Bordeaux's point is blah, blah, blah. And what we have here is templates, or what I have here is templates to help you get started with, Acosta states, comma, according to Acosta, comma. Acosta himself writes, comma. Moore himself says, comma. And the setup is, if you have a verb and then you have a quotation, you put a comma between it. States, comma, quotation mark. Writes, comma, quotation mark. If you have a that clause, argues that, states that, there is no comma. You just blend your words with the quotation. So this is the lead-in, this is the top piece of bread, and this is the follow-up where you make sure that you talk about why you're using it. So the essence of X's argument is that. There's a lot of that clauses here. So there's no commas for this. You can also go to the Purdue Owl in writingcommons.org for that. And those links are on the Canvas homepage. I think it's under resources. I'm not quite sure where. Maybe it's on the syllabus. But what I wanted to do too is talk to you a little bit more about quotations. So if you have a quotation that's a longer quotation, let's just say this is too long. I think the rule is 3 to 4 lines. What you can do is, if you only need part of the quotation, let's just say you don't need the beginning of the quotation. What you would do is you'd put these dots here and then close a bracket, and this is called ellipses. You can Google this, you can go to the Purdue Owl, you can go to writingcommons.org, but the ellipses show that I really don't need the information here at the beginning, right here, but the rest of this is all really good. The ellipses is also good when the brackets are also good if you need to change. Say somebody says you or I or me, and it sounds like they're talking about you, the writer. You can use the brackets here to show that you are changing what it is you need to make the sentence make sense. So that's what those brackets are for. Going back to the ellipses, though, let's say you like the beginning, you like the end, but you don't need anything in the middle. So then you do the brackets again, ... And this says, there's some stuff in the middle that I really didn't like, but I need the rest of it at the end and the beginning, so I'm going to use these ellipses here. Then what you could do is, if it's the same thing at the end, you like the beginning, you like the middle, but the end does not help you at all, this goes to show that you're taking the stuff out of the end and it's not really necessary. So that's how you use ellipses with longer quotes. If you have a long quote and you need all of it, let's just say this is a really long quote. I guess I should make the screen a little bit bigger, huh? Let's just say you have a really long quote And if you're still with me, if you're listening to this, type in the word ellipses in your comment box, and I'll add a couple points to that too. I know, very exciting. I would say 2.5 for the first one, 2.5 for this one. But let's just say you need all of this. Then what you would do is Bordeaux states, and then what you would do, let me see if this will do it for me, is you would tab over, and you would set up your quotation in a box like this. This should only be double space. I think this is extra spaces here. So this is what I mean by formatting longer quotations. You would do this. Now, if there are quotations within the quotation, which I know sounds weird, in the quotation above, let's just say, well, let me put it this way. Because you have already set this in a longer text box, you do not need to put a quotation mark here or here. However, if you're quoting something inside of your quote, then you do a single quote. And that says to me, this is a quotation that somebody had within the quote, which I know sounds confusing, but you can go to the Purdue Owl, you can go to writingcenters.com, and that will give you the information that you need in more detail. But this is just the basics. This is just the basics. So if you really like your quotation, you need every single word of it, you set it up like this. Now be careful, because if your paper is 4 pages, you don't want it to be mainly quotations, because that says to me that you're just using somebody else's words to fill up the page, which is not great. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, and several of you did this for paper 2, and I applaud you, and you'll be doing this for paper 3 and 4, is if you're using a video or a film or a documentary, you need to cite the source a little bit differently. Not necessarily the source. This here is about the kind of like the quotation sandwich, but you need the time stamps. So if you find a DVD on a movie service, and that could be Canopy, you would set it up here. So normally what you would do with MLA format is you would do this. You would say blah, 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 Bordeaux, and then the page number. Not bold, that's just how this happened. Okay, you would have Bordeaux 2. If Bordeaux is your only source, if you had blah, 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 you could just say Bordeaux. And there's a million ways to do in-text citations. But for a documentary, you would do it this way, with a timestamp. What is the timestamp, or from when to when am I quoting? So keep that in mind. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is MLA format. I've given you a template here. Oh, well, there's a couple things here. This is from the Purdue Owl about how it should look. And let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Just as a reminder here, and there's a template, but your last name and page number goes at the top right of every page. Your name, my name, the class, and the date. You need a creative title. The documentary that you're analyzing, that already has its own title. That is already taken. Find your own. Every new paragraph is indented. Everything is double-spaced. This one is not quite correct because your documentary title would go in italics, but the articles that you use for the support would be in quotation marks, and that is because larger works are in italics, a book, a film, a TV show, a smaller thing, a poem, a song from a CD, a video clip, that would be in quotation marks. So there is that. Look to that. But I wanted to show you in the prompt, I thought I had... Oh, is this it? This is probably the same thing. I will add the template. Let me add that now. You can watch my magic here as I do this. I'm going to add a file, MLA template. Hopefully it's here. MLA template. Okay, and I'm going to move this down towards the bottom. And this is one that you can just open up and just start typing. Okay, and this is what I mean. Hopefully. Where it's, okay, here we go. So what you have here is what I was just talking about, your last name, your page number, your name, and I think there's an extra space there, your name, my name, the class, and then the date, and your creative title here. I need to update this, but I will tell you that your works cited goes on its own page. Whatever page is your last page, your works cited goes there. That's not it. And then what you would do is you would alphabetize your entries. And what I mean by that is alphabetical. A comes before C, C comes before D, and that's how you would organize your works cited page. But what I wanted to show you, and some people are having problems with this, is the first line of your entry is all the way here at the left. Every other line after that is double spaced, and if you have a ruler here, you can do this. Okay, it didn't do it. Let me see if it does it for me this way. Okay, you can just tab over, and this is how it looks. Follow the Purdue OWL or writingcommons.org for how that should look. The other way you could do it is this way. Oops. Isn't it fun watching me do this? Well, let me see if I can get this. There's something called a hanging indent. So you go to, not that, you go to Layout. In Microsoft Word, you go to Layout. Oh, you go to Spacing. That's not it. Why am I not seeing it? Okay, I'll be right back. Hold on. Maybe I won't. No, I'm going to do this now. Let's see. There should be a thing that says paragraph. Let me go to Home. Oh, here it goes. I'm looking for a paragraph. Well, I can't see it now, of course, because I'm trying to show you now. But what you would do, maybe it's Layout. There's somewhere where it says paragraph. And then what you would do is do a hanging indent. And I'll share that with you later because I'm almost out of time. So I think that covers it for paper number 3. If there is more, I will add to it. As usual, let me know if you have any questions, and I think I am done. Whew. All right, good luck, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.